Now, during the break, I had a question. I mean, do you think the market has bottomed regarding inflation? Now, this is a very important question, but it has many different moving parts to it. So let's tackle the first one, inflation. If you look at the calculation of, let me actually come at this side of the tree because I might, oh, there's no marker. I thought, was there any? Perfect, there you go. So if you look at the, if everyone looks at the how inflation is calculated, basically they have 12 observations. So they have 12, sorry? Yeah, 12 observations, and they tell you what happened during because it's during this past 12 months. Now, which means that as months progress, a new one is added and the previous one is stricken off. So you have, in November, you have a new observation for the month of November, and the month, so in November 2021 will be taken out. So if the new monthly observation that is smaller than the one taken out, simple by way of a mathematical equation, inflation will seem
release.
Exactly. So if you look at the previous, so this month's inflation data, which moved the markets, it actually increased by 0.4%, but it was less than the one we took out, and so on a net basis, inflation fell. If you want to see, if you check out the November 21 inflation data, it was pretty high. So I have a guess that even if we go anywhere near moderate inflation this November, there is a good chance that the data may start looking to fall even just by a mathematical equation, because the new observation will be lower than the one we're taking out. Is that okay? So the first part, that's as far as inflation. I think in any case, there are a lot of indications. I think inflation may start to fall. Again, this is a speculation, and I want to be completely clear what is speculation on my part and what I do with trading. What I do is rules-based. I have my system. So, for example, I'll give you a very simple one. Market is above 200-day moving average. I have my oscillator who dips below a threshold level. If it reacts to it, I will go in. Simple and systematic. This is what I will do. What we're having, while I'm trying to answer the question, is purely academic. All right? So I will do different things. So this is as far as inflation is concerned. Now, to come back to the part of the question that addressed what will the market do if it has seen the bottoms, there are two issues. I think I kind of addressed them before. Because the decline we have seen so far is within historical norms for non-recessionary periods. So which means the market has assumed, priced in, that we are going for a slowdown, not a recession. If the data going forward gets even worse, then the markets will fall a lot more than that, long term. But in the short term, I think I'm bullish. Short term, I think I'm bullish. All right, just to answer the question. But because there are many maybes, we'll see, we don't know what will happen, I go back to my rules-based methodology. If, then. If happens, then I do. So I don't have to worry about what the market will do. I just have to worry how I will react to it. So you go from scenario-based investing to rules-based. Is that the distinction clear? All right. Sorry?
It makes sense.
Yeah, well, and I think it's, even from a psychological point of view, it's much more easier, because I just go to the screener I use for my charts, I run it and see which markets fulfill my conditions, take the position, small position size, and go. The rest of it, the rest of work I might do, yeah, it might be pleasing to my head, but it's not something I will base my strategy upon. I just have my rules. But again, market knowledge is necessary because upon that you can start creating rules and strategies. So for the short term, I think the market might surprise us to the upside, and that's one of the issues we have with the techniques and the tools we use. And that's why I resorted to this MTMF, multiple timeframes, multiple factors, because you might have one piece of data, one piece of indicator, technical or fundamental, but each one might be significant in a particular time frame. So for example, when we're talking about inflation, these are slow moving data. But if you're talking something a bit more short term, so you have to put everything in context.